Okay, so I've got all my things here in Flash. You can go through each frame. Probably need to zoom out. There we go. So there's all my finished storyboards. So what you want to do is export them so they're each an individual still picture. So I can go, let me delete these first so we don't have extras. Alright, then I go up to File, Export, and we want Export Movie, even though we're not making a movie yet. But you can change the settings here to JPEG sequence. And it's going to number them all, so there's going to be, for me, like 50, 57, 58 pictures. So I want them all in their own folder. You don't want to just put them on the desktop or it'll, fill it all up. So I'll make its own folder on the desktop. Giraffe storyboards. And then it should go through and export a JPEG image for each frame. Oh, let's do these settings. Okay, that's good. Okay, so that's done. Now if we go to the desktop here, we've got giraffe storyboards, and there they all are. We can preview these. Looks good. Okay, so next we're going to open up Final Cut. Sure. Okay, so the Final Cut open. First we'll go up here to File, and let's make a new event. New event, and we will call this Animatic. And these should all be fine, set based on first video clip. If you want to tell it specifically what size you want it, you can go to Custom, or you can leave it this and it'll make it the same size as your pictures. So I hit OK. And now up here I've got my new event called Animatic, and it has also made an untitled project inside that. So now I can go File, Import, Media, and find all those pictures. Desktop. Giraffe storyboards. Import selected. And here I would say leave files in place since they're already on your computer. If you're importing it from an SD card or something, like you exported your pictures at home and you brought them, then I would check this button, copy to library. That way it copies them all to the computer. Either way, it's a small file, so it won't hurt to copy them. So I'll import those. Now here I've got all of my pictures. I'm just going to select all of these and then drag them down into the timeline. Now I hit play, There we go. Now the default duration for each of these is 10 seconds long, which means if I leave it that way, this film is going to be almost 10 minutes long, which is way too much. So once they're on here, you can just click on the edges of them and adjust them for how long you want them to last. So I'd go through and just kind of time it in your head, I guess, of how long you feel each shot should last. So that's plenty for that one. Or if you want to change all of them at once, like I'm guessing each of these will last like 1 or 2 seconds. You can just select them all and then right click and choose change duration. And then right here in the middle, this is all changed to 0. So you're just going to type in the duration you want it to last. So I'll type, if I want each one to last 2 seconds, I'll type 2, 0, 0. So you get it in the sections part and then hit enter. And now they've all shortened like that. Okay, so now the finished thing will be about just under 2 minutes, which is still probably longer than I want, but for now, this will do. Okay, so we've got the pictures. Now, you're going to want, for sure, at least sound effects in there, and maybe also some music. So I'll show you how to get that stuff in. Let's see. Let's search for some sounds first. How about a bus? So if you just go to the Finder window and type in a search word here, and then go down to name matches, it'll bring up any file on your computer that has that word in its name. Right now it's only searching in this folder. So if I go here to this Mac, it'll search everywhere on the Mac. Okay, so here's a few sound effects. Let's preview that. Sounds like that's inside the bus while it's driving. Okay, I like that one. So we're going to start out with the school bus kind of pulling away from the school here. So with this window open, I'm just going to drag this file onto the timeline. Like that, and then I can shorten it up. Yeah, let's use that part of it. And then we can cut off the rest of it. And here if you, sorry I'm going a little too fast. If you hit the blade tool, that's where you can cut things into pieces like that. Or if you click on the edges, you can extend or shorten them. And then if you want the audio to fade in or out, you can click on these little dots on the sides. Now it's going to fade out right there. And then let's see if there's a noise for a classroom. We're just looking for WAV or MP3 files. picky right now. So let's just put some of this in here. I'll hit B for blade and cut that. Maybe put some fades in there. And what about chalk? Doesn't look like there is. No. Okay, so we'll call that good for at least pre-recorded sound effects. So let's say you want to record some of your own sound effects, like just using your voice or something. So if you go up here to Window and Record Voiceover, then this little doodad comes up, and you can choose your input. So by default it does the built-in microphone on your computer. If you have nicer ones you can choose that, but this will work for us. Right now you can't hear it, but if I turn the monitor on, now you can hear it. And it'll probably start a feedback loop since it's coming through the speakers. But so I'll leave that off. Countdown to record, so it'll start at like 4 or something, then count down. Mute project while recording, that means it won't play all the other sounds that you have in there, so it doesn't distract you while it's recording. Alright, so let's try this. And oh yeah. Okay, so you just record whatever sounds you want in there, and then you can close that, and let's play it back and see. So, whatever. But especially these early ones are a little quiet. So if you just hover over this line, this is the volume bar. You can bring the volume up on that. That's supposed to be the sound of chalk on a blackboard. Is what that is. Okay. So, and then you'd go through and put in sound effects. If you want music as well, you can click on this and it'll bring up everything that's in your iTunes if you want it. Let's try one of these. I don't know. Let's go with this one. So you can just drag that in from here. Bring the volume down on that a little bit. Okay. Then once you are happy with it and you have all the sound effects in there for the whole thing, I'm not going to do that, but I'll show you how to export it. So you just go over here to the side, this little button. This is the share menu, and we'll go with master file. And here in your settings, I think this is the default source Apple ProRes. This will make it into a pretty large file size, so we're going to choose H.264. Even that is going to be 280 megs, but that's all right. And we hit next, and we tell it where to save to. Giraffe, Animatic, and we hit save. And right here is our background task, so it shows us the progress on how that's coming along. So that is how you get an animatic made from Flash. I will stop the recording here.